Let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, we talked when the settlement was going on, and after August 17th, we talked a little bit about fiduciary responsibility and duty to the client, and talk a little bit about how that's changed and how we do that just a little bit differently than everyone else.
Well, we do it. We do it differently, starting with the contract itself, which
Yeah.
is the listing agreement. Our listing agreement, we market your property, and we're going to work to get it sold for a 3% commission.
Uh huh.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Now, we do not offer a buyer commission with Next Home, the agency group. We just don't do it. The buyer's commission, if the buyer would like the seller to consider the buyer's obligation to pay a commission, and they would like the seller to either help out with it or pay it, they can make that part of the negotiation.
Sure.
The seller, once they see the total offer with what the client is offering, they can make a decision whether that they want to do that or not. Often a buyer will say, I'm going to offer you more than what my agent would cost, so I'm actually paying for my own representation. But that's how we do it. That way, in the event that somebody comes in and they're unrepresented, they don't have an agent, we will get our client to settlement for no additional commission. So we are going to negotiate the very best deal, which is often higher than we thought it was. In other words, we thought the top of the market was, because of all of the excitement and activity and the lack of inventory.
Yep.
And when we negotiate, we're taking everything into consideration.
Absolutely.
Human behavior,
Yeah.
the market itself, supply and demand, condition of your property. And as we're doing that, our total responsibility is focusing on you.
Absolutely. And then on the buy side, so tell us a little bit about, as we're representing a buyer.
So as we're representing a buyer, we do the very best we can in the same manner. So the first thing we do is we sit down with our buyers, and we comply with law, and we explain the buying process, and we explain their responsibilities. We get them pre-qualified.
Yep.
We have Barry in Somerville,
Yep.
Myrtle Beach, and then we have Rob Heltzel, who's been on our show. And he's right here in Manassas, works right out of our office. And Rob will pre-qualify our buyers and make sure that they're ready to buy. And then we explain to the buyer how the real estate commission works. It's their responsibility. However, they can make it part of their negotiation.
Absolutely.
With speaking with the sellers. We've recently had one where they had negotiated a commission with us, and they have a lot of equity in the home they're selling, but on the buy side, they negotiated a commission that wasn't quite as much as we had in there.
Sure.
So they were still responsible for the balance, but we as a company said, we'll collect it when you sell your home, since you bought before you sold.
On the other side.
And that way we make it manageable. So how do we do it? We can customize it to each situation to serve our clients and make sure that they do have our service, and we'll never negotiate our commission in a contract where they potentially could lose a deal.
Sure.
Because we're more concerned about us being paid than them getting the home.
Yeah, it's not about the agent. It's not about the broker. It's about the client, and we put them first. And I just think it's really crazy how many companies are still out there collecting the buyer broker commission at the listing appointment. Like, I just don't get it, because you're putting your seller at a disadvantage when it comes time to negotiate that contract. And I'm just hoping, I am seeing a little bit of, people saying, aha moments with other agents and other brokerages who are saying, okay, yeah, we kind of get that now. And they're kind of moving over to, everything being negotiated in the offer process.